like I say, other leaders and other people like JFK and other people were trying to hide things and trying to lie about things and trying to, well, like I said, they weren't the real me. They weren't the real Lucifer Star. They weren't, they may have been Luke Skywalker, which is just a play on on the fact that I invented flight and had aircraft and stuff like that. It's a name actually that the Indians used to refer to me as Skywalker or something like that. Well, not that we walked through the sky, we flew an aircraft. Anyway, though, but whatever. And my name was Lu, Lucifer. So anyway, like I say, it doesn't, other other life forms or other creators could have, as a creator and as a whatever, I could have said, no, you will not know these things, blah, blah, blah. But then I would have been a piece of shit and not the real creator. So, anyway, like I say, it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, and besides, just like Abraham Lincoln and all the others, I mean, you're going to live 30 to 40 years, maybe 80 years. Maybe you might get a little bit longer, a couple hundred years, or even a couple thousand years, maybe at most. If you're really, 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 really determined to live a long time, you might make it 5,000 years, maybe. But very few make it that far. And even then, there's not a lot more to do in space and time. Like, you can maybe wage war on someone, try and kill someone, I don't know. You can do a lot of stupid things. You can do a lot of things that can hurt people. But, I mean, in existence, most life forms don't live as long as me. Like, I just never really got bored. I just always found something else to do. Like I said, I spent a long time to just being stretchy and cute and snuggly and silly because life wasn't silly or cute, and so I wanted to be silly for a time or an existence. So I was stretchy and I was silly and cute and helpful. So you'll be sitting there saying, nobody believes this, nobody believes him, believe what? What? LS steamships, LS steam trains, verifiable by 2 or 3 different life forms in space? Or are you going to believe Congress? What does Congress have to do with government anyway? Like, there are so many holes in their plot, it's not even funny. And how does the White House in Washington, D.C. have to do with anything anyway? Who built it? What are you saying? Cherry picking whatever, cherry chopping whatever built the White House? Who built the White House? Who built Washington, D.C.? Why was it built? Where is that information in your epilogue of America? In your epilogue of America, it just was there. Like, there's no real reference to who built it or why it was built or how it was built or even its existence before it was the D.C. building where Congress went and the White House. Like, there's no... Like, there's this giant hole in your history. All you know is that it went back 400 years or more, maybe. And then suddenly there was Congress. And what does Congress even mean? It actually means to congress or to travel through, I believe. Has nothing to do with. And what do the Republicans or Republican have to do with anything? Where did the word come from? What does it mean? Or Democrat? Democulus? Democratic? Like I said, I don't really care. It's your fucked up existence and your past and your future and your everything. I've basically allowed, and like I said, many people, blah, blah, it's like it's in the pictures, it's in the films, it's in the slides. All my projects had pictures taken and slides and everything else like that. Cameras, that actually does worry me that somebody in China, took pictures and had pictures and all that, because then that means they probably worked for me or they probably knew. But at least, there were cameras there, I guess. The cameras have been around a long time. Like I said, I'm truly sorry for Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I was probably being lied to. And shame and dishonor, I suppose, on me. The Japanese or Chinese said that they were not the ones who betrayed me. They were not the ones who had started it, and I believe them. So, anyway, and as it turns out, it was the White Star submarines, civilian submarines, where it started. So, yeah, like I said, it doesn't really matter. But I mean, people may not know about your existence, or may not know about you, or may not care about your existence at all. But me, well, I mean, you are just people around me that were just around me so you could get to know me. And technically, like I said, most people consider it a prison planet, but a lot of people around me were handpicked of all the different planets. I said for my vacation or something like that, like I had my pick of the best 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 of all the life forms on all the planets. Everyone wanted to be next to me. Everyone wanted to be near me. That's why JFK and Richard Nixon and all those others were so jealous of me. Because, like, I was so at the top that, they couldn't even get near me. They couldn't even get close to me. They had to work very hard and had to work for a long time. I think it was 1,000 years or something like that, or a couple hundred years just to get near me. Because there were just so many good people and so many 1% people that would just want to be so close to me. And they were way better, way smarter, way everything, with verifiable records. And they could be next to me on the same planet with me. Where, like I said, I used to know the greater existence where they actually had to they actually had to go from another planet to try and get onto this planet just to get near me. So, like other people are like, you're just blah, 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 blah. Like, no, I'm not. I never waste my time. Like my existence for now is boring. I used to have to make thousands of decisions or millions of decisions that affected whole planets and galaxies and everything else, like every minute or every couple minutes. Everything I did was completely dependent and changed everything. So, anyway, I mean, like I was always busy solving some plague or fixing something or dealing with something, negotiating some trade thing, whatever. Like a life form, I had a 100% approval rating. So it's like, well, there's me. And like I said, even as Brian, you still have the Britannic. You still have the Britain. So, I mean, you have a whole lot of B's and a whole lot of L's. It's not by accident. So what do I care? I mean, I'm so popular, my name is everywhere. It's not just up in lights. It's not just on the sidewalks. You walk down the street and you see a star. You see a star on TV. You see stars on the aircraft. You see stars on Russian vehicles. You see stars on Chinese vehicles. You see stars on tanks and everything. So, it's my name, Lucifer Star. A couple people, I bought their company or gave them a grant or something like that, so they're going to keep my name around a little while longer. Probably Starline Brass or Shells. Like I said, we make our own brass. We manufacture our own shells. We make our own bullets. We make our own bombs. We make our own aircraft. We start from scratch. Like I said, while Germany and Europe had aircraft and all this other stuff, I demanded that America start from scratch just like China. Just like everyone. You always start from scratch. You invent it yourself, we build it ourselves, and that's the way we do it. And then no one can take it away from us. No one can stop us from building it. So, anyway, so that's the way I always did it. Like I said, well, in space and time and everything else, I helped a lot of other life forms by just giving them schematics or whatever that I thought they could handle or something like that. Generally, like you have to invent the steel yourself, you have to do the metallurgy yourself, and blah blah. And then you understand it, and you actually understand more if you do it yourself. If you actually play around with the minerals and all that stuff, rather than just reading a formula, you actually understand it better, and you can even think of new and better ways of doing it. So, anyway, like I said, I don't really care. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. It's just the way I was doing things. It's the way I uplift civilizations, uplift countries, and uplift people. Certain people, like the Japanese or Chinese, I did grant them some technology and stuff like that, but that's because they were the most honest and the most honorable, the most loyal, the most perfect people or nation that I had known. And so I granted them technology from Germany or technology from another country because they didn't have technology or as much technology. So I shared it with them, and it changed a lot of things, I believe, in their country. Allowed them to do more. And a lot of it's just math and all that other stuff, like I say. There were schools and everything else like that. And that's in records and pictures and everything else like that, too. So, like I said, theoretically, Korea should actually be taking cues from me, or at least looking after me, or looking... They were guarding me. I'm their epic creator, or their enlightened one, or I was supposed to be. So, anyway. I don't really know. Like I said, their young leader that they have, what's his name, is pretty cool, too. His dad was awesome. If I know his dad, then that one guy, he was really awesome. He embraced Western ways, and he was really a good guy. He really cared. There was some stuff where people were saying he was doing this, he was doing that, but it was probably the black people or someone. Like I said, the black people wanted armored personnel carriers and weapons for their war in Africa against the people who had built it, which is basically the English and the Germans or whatever. They were originally in Africa, and they had a couple stores down there and stuff like that. After a while, I told them to go back to their own country, because it wasn't safe there. So, like I said, if we have to divide up the different colors and different life forms and different races, then that's what we'll do. But, you should be able to get along. You used to get along. And like I said, there's this whole thing of, like, there's always a communist whatever and always this and that. And it's like, you guys used to get along. There's photographs and pictures of Germans and Americans and everyone basically getting along. The Germans taught the American army how to do stuff. So, anyway. So, like I say, it doesn't matter to me. Why would I care? I'm Lucifer Star. I'm that one. So, I said, well, people were running around me having sex with girls and doing drugs and doing all this and doing all that and having a good time and partying and all that. It's like, well, that's nice. But it doesn't really matter. It doesn't reflect badly on me. Like I said, Rodney and all kinds of, you're embarrassing yourself, Brian, you're embarrassing yourself. Me, Lucifer Starline, embarrassing myself? How can I embarrass myself after 99 trillion years and millions of years and basically fighting a war and winning a war and getting the rest of Europe to surrender to me? Like I said, the carpet bombing and killing of thousands and millions of people I didn't do. I bombed those two cities to stop the war. To make everybody stop and listen and to surrender to me. And they did, I believe. And anyway, like I said, it was not something I was proud of. Like I said, that's one of the things that I wanted to make absolutely clear to everyone. That I wasn't proud. I wasn't happy. They were supposed to surrender before the bombs were dropped. No one was supposed to die. No one was supposed to get hurt. But if that's what it took to get worldwide peace, then I don't know. Like I said, to the Chinese and the Japanese, I apologize, but, like I said, and the Chinese were saying this and the Chinese were saying that, and everyone was saying, no, that's a lie, that's a lie. It's like, the Chinese never lie. They never have lied. They probably never will lie. They consider honor and basically how people would look at them and their civilization very paramount. They think about the future, they think about the past, they think about their actions very clearly. In fact, at one point in time, they had planned their civilization 140 or 120 years in advance, looking at technological growth and also population growth and everything, just like Germany did. So, and that's why I told people to leave China alone, or leave the Asians alone. They're just fine on their own. They had their own plan. They had a great idea, and they knew what they were doing. They had it all planned out. So, with no interference, they should be fine and epic in no time. And I believe they have like 3 or 4 or some odd planets out there in the universe. They went to space. And many people didn't know that until I mentioned it. That yeah, they have spaceships. So does Germany. Germany had spaceships too. Like, there's quite a few different groups that had spaceships that weren't even from this planet. I think they came to this planet to just to be near me, to help me. Maybe because the American government or my government was going to go psycho. I say whatever. One man, one dead person, which is JFK's plan. And a few other released people do not end to epic existence make. Like I said, the human race doesn't even matter. There's so many others. And others upon others. Like I said, they quantified me one time and they said, you are the creator of 700,000 life forms for which most other life form types came from. And the civilization and the one responsible for the most amount of ascending life forms in the universe. Or something like that. And responsible for 1/3 or 2/3 of the matter. Or something like that, in the universe, or something like that. Because I was sharing information and people were watching me do it. So, they watched me how I did things, and then they did it themselves. And like I said, that's why I was doing a recording of basically a star and solar system's creation. From very first, from no space at all. From just space and nothing there. Nothing here, to planets and a star. I was doing an epic recording of basically what I do in existence, or what I do. So, anyway, like I said, that's why my name is Lucifer Star, and why in several different points in time in my existence, they had problems. So now I'm Brian, and again, word of mouth, a couple 100,000 people, maybe a couple million people. Shh, don't tell anyone that I'm really Lucifer Star, that we creator of stars and planets. We're gonna play this little game and wait for him to die, and then we'll own everything or something. And that just led to basically Richard Nixon, arm chopping off Richard Nixon and JFK. I can do whatever I want. Do you know who my daddy is? And a whole bunch of other people are like, why not kill him? And a bunch of other people that were just like, they could lie, they could do whatever they wanted, so they were forcing women down and raping them. I guess after you give them drugs, after whatever, and then at a certain point, maybe you just go, okay, bitch, that's it. I'm taking you now, or something like that. Or maybe, and like I said, Jimmy Carter was caught. I saw through his eyes, and he liked to see the life drain from women's eyes. He liked to have his dick inside of them while he was fucking them and strangling them at the same time until they died. And then he would, I guess, clean up himself and then go and fuck another girl. So, yeah. Just led to that. So, it's like, well, yeah, if you're going to talk about embarrassing yourself and looking bad, I'm not on the list. I'm Lucifer Star, the epic ascender and epic creator of stars and everything else. The epic stupidity and epic patheticness and epic just messed upness. That wasn't me. That would be Jimmy Carter or someone else that liked to watch the life. And I even told him, I said, it feels really good when they die or something like that. And I was like, that's their muscles tensing up. It's an involuntary action because you're strangling them. So, I don't know, I guess after you have sex with thousands or hundreds of thousands of women, I guess after a while, and like I said, when the truth came out about him, he went to his wife and was like, I'll never do it to you. And she left him or something like that. Or I don't know. The truth came out about Jimmy Carter. Mr. I'll never die, I'll never grow old, and he had to admit it in front of the public or whatever. In one of those addresses or something like that. Anyway, whatever. Like I said, I don't really care, they had a lot to hide. And realistically, what I think they planned, like I say, is just to kill everyone. But that's kind of impossible. And realistically, in time and space, eventually someone's going to have time travel and going to go back and go look at you and go, oh, look at that. What a sick motherfucker. Oh, and he's their leader? Psycho. So... And I even told Rodney that. I was like, look, no matter how long you can live, no matter how long, blah, blah, eventually people will come back and look. They always do. Life forms always get to a certain point and then they turn around and they go back and they look at what was before. It's just something that they do. My exoskeletons did it, my 1.5s did it. As far as I know, every life form eventually, when it gets up to a certain point, it turns around and goes back and looks at its past, at its own past, and sees things. And you probably will never see them. You probably won't even know that they're looking at you or watching you. Like, it's just how life is. As me, the epic creator and epic everything and real Lucifer Star, it was something that I noticed. And while space and everything and all the stars in the universe are big and vast and all that, they're not really that vast when you consider how much time and space and everything else is like that. And I think they were planning on crushing my galaxies, or crushing the antimatter galaxy or the matter galaxy together and to create a big boom that would kill all life in the universe. And they might have killed a lot of life forms, but they didn't kill me, or something like that. I don't know. I don't care. It's like, in epic existence, once you've existed, and that's all there is to it. For better or worse. So, and eventually a whole lot of life forms look at you and see what you've done, and see who you were, and, and whatever. There is no bigger stick. There is no forever. There is no living forever. There is no keeping the truth from being known forever. Whatever. Like I said, I'm just one of the more important life forms in existence, I suppose. But I don't know. I had my existence. I did my things. I made my choices. And other people made their choices. So, yeah, and that's why I say you can run around me all you want, going even pass notes secretly. Even if you only wink 3 times and communicate and wink. I'm asking you out to dinner. I'm kidding. You could do all the convoluted whatever you want, but in general, and with forever existence, it's not really going to make a difference. They're still going to turn around and come back and look, and other life forms are going to look, and blah 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 blah. It's like, that's why I go shrug. I was just Lucifer Starline. Shipbuilder, spaceship builder, person who figured out faster than the speed of sound, flight, designer of the SR-71 Blackbird, and the LSF Blackbird, -8 Blackbird, whatever. So, we were going to have it changed to USF or something like that, but, other people, the LSF sounds better, I guess. I just thought that the flyer part sounded stupid. It's like Lucifer Star Flyer. It's like, yeah. And it didn't really fly. It went through space. So, it's a choice. I don't know. Whatever. Stuck with it. Just like me. I'm Lucifer Starline. You're Epic Creator, and you're just stuck with it. #1 civilization builder in the galaxy or in the universe. People said, well, you're the most powerful and most rich person in our galaxy. So I don't know about others, though. Someone told me this. I was like, oh, really? Cool. So anyway, like I said, it was just like 2 or 3 lifetimes or whatever. And realistically, like I said, what it was the clones, and they didn't even really affect me. It was 30 JFK clones that were running around that were really causing the problem. Nixon or JFK cloned himself 30 times. I think he probably chained women down or paid women to basically make 30 little copies of himself. And then they ran amok. It's like, and then somebody later on delivered all 30 of them to me and gave them to me. And basically, like I said, I had like 8 or 9 of them, and I didn't have all 30. So collect all 30. Or collect however many were bad anyway. And there was one that was actually kind of good. I think that might have been the one they killed. I don't know. But, I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, though, whatever. And they used to torture women all the time. They used to play all these games with women and all these games with people, like, oh, you didn't tell me that, and all this other kind of crap, because it's like having twins, except there's 30 of them. So anyway, and then they would go to court and be like, I wasn't there. I was with all my friends partying it up. I was drunk on the floor. I was in jail. I couldn't have killed that person. You know, and it's just all these clones playing the stupid game. That's why he on TV, you know, the old Donkey Grant. You know, and that was his effect on existence, which really wasn't all that big of one. I mean, realistically, I mean, there isn't all that much history as far as Republicans. They began in year 1200 and basically were demolished or abandoned. It's like they, like I say, no one else uses the Republican or the Democratic system anymore. You know, no one and it was just and basically it was just Richard Nixon, JFK, and a few idiots, basically. Anyway, it was just their whatever, even me being at 471 Mountain Drive. That was Rodney's idea that well, the Washington D.C. or White House will get nuked, and then Rodney's idea was that he'll live, you know, being in 471 Mountain Drive. You know, they won't kill him if they nuke Washington. It's like, so you're that bad of a guy, eh? They really want to kill you that bad, eh? That's pretty serious. You know, me, it's like, you know, why would anyone want to kill me? Number two, you know, what does it matter? If you're really that bad, whatever. I mean, you shouldn't have to hide. Like, it's pretty sad when you actually have to hide and have to worry about there's 7 ways out of this property or this place, or 4 ways out of this property. It's like, yeah, and there's also 2 fire stations and all that other stuff. And, you know, and I do have knowledge of a bloodbath or some kind of bloodbath that happened at one of the fire stations where they had to use the fire hoses to clean up the blood or something like that from all the people they had to kill or something like that. I don't really know. That could have happened or might have happened or would have happened. I don't really know. Like I said, there were some assassins that were even protecting me. You know, they knew that people were going to come after me and kill me as being the real Lucifer, or well, I mean, that's being Lucifer because of all the other bad Lucifers. There's a lot of people using my name. There's a black Lucifer for the love of everyone nice. Like, hello, I've never been black. I never will be black. So, I think maybe later on he called himself the devil or something like that. And it's like, whatever. You know, and Satan. You mean Satan? You mean Satan? The paint or the cloth? Or Delvin the town. Yeah. I guess, whatever. Anyway, like I say, I mean, it's just like, that's why I call it epic stupidity. But, and like I say, JFK, for the life of him, was the most bitter, most jealous. Like, I swear he should have been green. He was so epically jealous of me. Just like the most jealous person in the entire planet, because everybody was talking about my steamships, everybody was talking about my aircraft, everybody was talking about my spaceship, everybody was talking about all the new stuff that was coming out and all the production. Like I say, I mean, like that's all the girls wanted to talk about. That's all the people were talking about. It was like my new project or my new water system or my new whatever. And he wanted to talk about politics or, I don't know, or something, or whatever. I mean, he tried unsuccessfully for years, and you know, like I said, finally it came to a head, and he went outside, he got a Tommy gun, or, you know, one of those guns with a 100 mag clip, and walked back inside and was showing the crowd how it worked, or was like trying to show this girl that wasn't interested in him at all, and she walked away from him. She wasn't even interested in the gun. Like, why would a girl care about a gun or something like that? I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know. I only have brief memories of what happened and everything else like that. You'd have to ask China or Japan or someone about JFK and everything else. So, anyway, my memories are the factual statements, like I said, and that's partly the reason why Japan was tortured and punished so much, was because they weren't going to lie. They wouldn't. Like I said, it's a great honor to be chosen by me as basically my, I think they said Kinshu or something like that, or whatever, second, or I don't know what it means exactly, but I used to know. So. Anyway, yeah. I'm also the one that allowed gay marriage, but